Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Together Strong Connected Care Administration consultation workshop in relation to the new Workforce Diversity and Inclusion Strategy 2022 to 2024. Just welcome to the team, Richard, Celine, Tony, Simon, Alondro. Unfortunately, Margot is unavailable and won't be attending the meeting today, but she has provided feedback via email, which I believe Alondro has. Sorry, not Alondro, Tony has. Before we start, I'd just like to acknowledge the Aboriginal, traditional and cultural custodians of the lands, waters and seas across the Mackay, Whitsunday and Isaac regions. We pay respects to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, acknowledging elders past, present and recognise the role of current and emerging leaders in shaping our health system. Although they are not First Nation people of Australia, we also acknowledge Australian South Sea Islander people, their historical relationships with First Nations people and the contributions they have made in our community. Okay, I'll just briefly explain the schedule for today's workshop consultation. So we will start with just a brief overview of the new Workforce Diversity and Inclusion Strategy, the vision, goals and key objectives. Then we will move into a discussion and feedback. Now, everyone has been provided with copies of the strategy, as well as a team plan of how we are going to implement the strategy into our workplace, and then an opportunity for feedback. And before we start, I just want to emphasise and just to let everybody know that this is a safe space, that what we say here today, it's not about pointing the finger, but we just want to make sure that we promote and live the organisational values of collaboration, trust, respect and teamwork.
Thank you, that's great.
Okay, so we'll lead off. If anyone has any questions during the workshop, to raise their hands or to just make known. Otherwise, in the discussion and feedback, we'll have opportunity, you'll have opportunity then to raise it at that point. So,
Thank you.
The Workforce Diversity and Inclusion Strategy. So what is it all about? How does it affect us and the work that we do? The main vision of the strategy is to improve the health and well-being of our patients, safety and community through developing a respectful and supportive workplace that enables us to attract, retain and develop a capable, diverse and inclusive workforce. The strategy itself is called the Workforce Diversity and Inclusion Strategy. Everyone belongs. Okay. So it's not paying attention to specific groups, it's all of us. 6 of us that are sitting within this meeting are covered by this diversity and inclusion strategy.
It's pretty good, isn't it? That it's looking at LGBTIQA+, gender equity and life stages of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. So it does say, there mentions all of us. No, I really think my community is sitting in this very much.
That is
Thank you.
great, and yes, it does. There are 7 priority groups that are covered or that are specifically mentioned within this strategy. There are people with a disability, people staff members from non-English speaking backgrounds, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, gender equity, as you've mentioned, LGBTIQ group, and youth under 25, and finally the mature age, which is people over 45. So as I said, it's everyone who's sitting around this table. We're all covered and protected by this strategy.
Okay.
So what is the purpose of today's consultation? It's to consult and seek feedback on the plan, and to see what our role is as a team to implement the strategy. So what we'll start with is, why did we choose this particular method of delivery? I think with the diversity and inclusion strategy, that it's better talking face to face, because it's about, for some people it can be quite a sensitive subject in which to discuss, but it just allows us to openly communicate our ideas and what we think is good, or whether there's any negative feedback in relation to how we're going to implement this plan. And as I said, because it covers us all, I
thank you. I agree with you, because from my Spanish background, for many years my parents and my uncles and aunts have sat around and we orally have conversations, and I've understand that from the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community. They're an oral tradition, so look, I really appreciate that you're thinking about that, having that face to face with people.
Because the role of the manager in this process is being committed to embedding diversity and inclusion as a standard practice in the team's business as our everyday activities.
Doing that all the time. Yep.
So we don't do it just on days that for celebration, like gender equity days, or but
so it's not token.
No, that's right. It's about everyone's
practicing it all the
every
time.
day. We want it to be, as I said, a standard practice. And for employees, it's understanding and respecting the team's differences, that we celebrate the diversity, and that we actively contribute to creating a respectful workplace environment. So that places responsibility on all of us, and it's not just one particular person or one particular group. It's everyone that has a responsibility, that we want this to work, because we want to create a workplace that is respectful, that we not only respect the team differences, but we celebrate our diversity, because everyone has something to contribute.
What sort of timeline are you putting into this? If we're going to make some of these changes today at this meeting, can you tell me then, as our manager, what sort of outcomes, or when do we hope to have this all implemented and start addressing some of these issues? Do we have a timeline?
Yes.
Thank
you for
that
question, Alondro. That is a very good question, and brings me to one of the important documents that we have distributed, and that's the team work allocation plan.
Oh, okay.
So that's about how we as a team are going to implement this new strategy,
Right.
what we need to do, or how we can contribute. So we've identified some key performance indicators, and the most common, we're hoping that within 1 month of the commencement of the strategy, that all training of the new requirements for this new strategy has been completed, and that all staff, so that's 100% of staff, are trained and have completed the online training or have completed the online training.
Yep.
Or whatever else is necessary. So I'll just quickly go through the team goals and discuss some of the brief responsibilities and key performance indicators.
KPIs, yep.
So the first team goal was to organise a team building day, which focuses on the new strategy where everyone belongs, and this is to encourage the sharing of ideas and diverse perspectives and promote diversity training opportunities. Now, as I briefly explained before, we're looking at having that done within 1 month or prior to the commencement of the strategy.
So will that happen during the week, or is that closer to a Friday, or will it be a Monday? Well, I work better on a Wednesday, and I'm wondering whether we can, we're talking about diversity, can we all bring a dish or something to eat, show how we do things in our families.
Okay, that's a very good idea, Alondro, but
you tell me if we can, okay? Yeah.
It certainly is a good idea to bring that diversity and include it as part of our strategy to learn what the new requirements are. But it will be one of the roles that we have identified as wanting to do is to indicate staff's availability.
Yep.
Because we have full-time and part-time workers, so we want everyone to be included. So one of the tasks is to identify the availability of all staff. The staff who are not available to attend on that particular team building day, because I think it's very important that we all attend that, excuse me, they will have the opportunity then to complete online training.
Oh, okay, right.
Or the team building day will also be recorded, so they can then go back and have a look at it later, just to ensure that everyone is given the same information, albeit not at the same time, but they will still have access to that information.
Will we get a certificate in this, in case I want to take it into another job, or I can use this to say that I'm capable of interacting with diverse groups?
Thank you. Alondro, yes, that's something that we are looking at, that it will be included as some form of formal qualification. Yep. Well, not formal qualification, that it will be included in a team member's training record. So just going back to the team building day, as I said, we will be looking at developing the staff program, looking at the availability to make sure that all staff can attend, and those that can't, we've got options in place to address that. We've also looking at seeking approval from the executive leadership team.
Okay.
So that we can close the office off
That'd be great.
for
Yeah,
half a day.
Yeah.
So as I said, we're all getting the same training. We've said at the start, you've all had access to this information. So any comments, we welcome that, as I said, in the process of when we seek feedback and have a discussion about this.
Great.
The other team goal is to improve individual and other team members' understanding of diversity and inclusion.
Yeah.
We have said we've given that a key performance indicator as within 3 months of commencement of the workforce diversity and inclusion strategy, 90% of staff have completed online diversity and inclusion courses.
Would you think about, 3 months might be a bit too long? Could we pull that back to maybe 1 month because we've got to get started on the project?
Certainly.
Is that something that we could think about?
That is a very good point. I guess if we're showing that we're committed and we're serious about this, then perhaps 1 month is a better indicator for us to then achieve this by.
Okay, great.
All right. So we'll just go into the last couple of goals. So we want to create and value space for diverse perspectives and team decisions, and in the design and delivery of policy programs and services. We want to promote and celebrate major days of significance to build workforce awareness and inclusion, ensure commitment to diversity and inclusion is considered and reflected in strategic and operational plans and in policies, procedures and new initiatives. And all policies and practices reflect and reinforce diversity and inclusion practices. So as an administration team, we have a responsibility. Our responsibility is a little bit different to a operational area, say for instance, outpatients.
Mm-hmm.
So they're frontline.
Yep.
They're not only dealing with staff, with patients who are from differing backgrounds. They have a very high turnover of staff, so their focus is a little bit different to ours, but it doesn't lessen the importance of having these practices inbuilt in our everyday work practices. Mm-hmm. So have a read through the plan. If anyone has any other suggestions or other feedback about it, you can provide that today. Otherwise, by close of business on the following Friday, we would like, that's the target, to have them in by, and then we will review and then come back to, because this implementation plan has to be ready for when the strategy is commencing.
Okay, yep.
Now, Margot has sent through feedback relating to the first team goal, and that's to organise team building. She thinks that perhaps taking that out and just having encourage the sharing of ideas and diverse perspectives and promote diversity training opportunities, that in the additional support and or resources required, that's where we indicate to organise a team building day, because it doesn't belong in the team goal. The team goal, she felt, was more about encourage the sharing of the ideas and diverse perspectives and promote diversity training opportunities, because it then you can then allocate or set a key performance indicator, a measure for how we're going to do that So we'll make those changes. And is there any other feedback or discussion that...
No, I think that was good of Margot to say that.
Yep.
No, I think that's really it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, guys, it's been a pretty good workshop that we've had today. I hope that everyone felt respected, that there was a lot of collaboration happening here today. We will then, as I said, by close of business next Friday, we will have the final team plan to go out to staff with the feedback that we have received. But I thank everyone for their attendance and their commitment to this strategy. I think it's a positive outcome for us, and I'm looking forward to our team building day. Thank you for your attendance, and I'll close the meeting at 2:04, and we'll then review at the next Friday. Thank you.
Thank you very much.